Students, you have learnt about the soil erosion. Wind and water are the agents of soil erosion. Soil erosion decreases the fertility of soil.
It also destroys the shelter of soil organisms.
So, erosion is not good for both the plants and animals. We have to protect or conserve the soil. To save the soil from erosion is called the conservation of the soil. There are different ways of conservation of soil. Now, let us discuss on each of them. Look at this hill. This part of the hill does not have any trees in it. But this part of the hill has many big trees in it. Do you know what happens to these parts when there is rainfall? Well, for that, let us see here. In the part of hill that has no trees, there is landslide. Running water also carries the soil downstream. But in the part of the hill that has trees, there is no landslide. The running water is not carrying the soil. Isn't that interesting?
When there is wind from the barren part, the wind easily carries the soil particles away. But from the part with trees, the wind cannot carry away the soil particles.
Now tell me, what do you learn from this?
The trees and grasses prevent landslide and soil erosion.
The roots of trees and grass hold the soil tightly and firmly. Because of this, rain and wind cannot wash or carry away the soil particles. So, in order to prevent erosion and landslide, we should plant more and more trees. The act of planting trees in a large number is called afforestation.
If we grow crops on open land, the soil is not directly exposed to the wind. Due to this, the wind cannot wash away the soil. So, farming on open land also protects the soil from erosion.
So, afforestation and farming help in the conservation of soil. Students, we have learned that afforestation and farming helps in the conservation of soil. There are also other ways by which we can conserve the soil. This is a slope land, and this is a plain land. You can see the water flowing in both of these lands. What do you find here?
In the slope, the speed of water is faster than in the plain land. More the slope, faster is the speed of water.
Not only water, but also the other things move faster in a slope. It is due to gravity. The fast-moving water in the slope land causes the soil erosion. But there is no soil erosion in the plain land.
So, When water moves faster, there is a greater chance of soil erosion.
Look at this picture. The sloped land has been divided into many parts of plain lands for farming.
The speed of water is reduced in each plain part of land. Farming by dividing a sloped land into plain land is called terrace farming.
So, we can protect the soil from erosion by terrace farming too. The terrace farming protects the topsoil from erosion. The topsoil is the most fertile soil. So, terrace farming also increases the fertility of the soil. Students, we have learnt that afforestation and terrace farming can save the soil from erosion. Look at this paddy land. Each piece of land is surrounded by bounds. Do you know why farmers make such bounds in their fields?
The bounds can reduce the speed of water. The bounds can also store the water in the fields.
So, the bounds help protect the soil from washing away. That means the bounds can protect the soil from erosion. Students, you might have seen or heard that heavy rain can cause floods. If you observe the water in the floods, it is very muddy. Can you tell me where this mud comes from?
The heavy rain brings a lot of water.
The running water on the ground washes away the topsoil and carries them into a river. The water in the flood runs over land and washes away the topsoil on its way. Due to this, water in floods contains a lot of soil or mud. The flood causes a lot of erosion and makes the soil barren and infertile. Now tell me, what would you do to protect the land around river?
We can construct big walls of rocks, bricks, or other solid materials along the bank of rivers.
A big wall or rocks or other materials on the bank of rivers is called an embankment. If such walls are used to hold back and raise the river water, it is called a dam.
You can see the embankment and the dam in the Koshi barrage.
Building of dams and embankments protect the soil from erosion. Now you must have understood about the different ways to conserve soil. Let me remind you once more. By afforestation or planting trees and grass, we can conserve soil. We can also conserve soil by terrace farming. Raising bounds in the fields also protects soil from erosion.
We can also protect land near river by constructing dams and embankments.